Hey, this is a podcast started by yours truly, me. My name is Leo. I'm a college student, and I wanted to make a podcast because why? That's a good question, audience. I don't exactly know why, but I don't have a ton of people to talk to, and help. Yeah, okay, I'm already floundering. I really didn't have much of a whole plan for this, and it is going to be kind of awkward having it with just one person, but pretty sure for this podcast I'm eventually going to invite on some more friends and like my roommate and stuff, just big names, in the media industry. Like John and Justin and Parker. Oh God, who does not know the big three? If you don't know the big three, you need to educate yourself. Actually, I'm pretty sure my friend John already has a little YouTube channel. I think it's gaming. I don't know. At least I have someone who knows what they're doing, and I have a friend who kind of knows his way around YouTube. But yeah, I'm Leo. I'm a college student, and why not start a podcast? You gotta. The weird thing about podcasts, like I started listening to some, and I was like, wow, this is cool. I should make one, but biggest problem is you don't really know when to listen to them, especially when you don't have a whole lot of free time like yours truly. But hey, what I found work. You can listen to my melodious voice when you're doing homework. Although that's probably distracting. I can't listen to podcasts while doing homework. At most, I can listen to like some kind of. I can't even listen to most classical music. I've got to listen to I think Bramble Blast. That from like Donkey Kong. That's like the best I can do. The most I can really comprehend. Usually I just listen to like things that just barely qualify as music, that like barely make the cut. It's just pretty much like 3 beats repeating. Yeah, just listen to this while either doing homework or playing video games. That's what I found works for me. Because, I either playing video games, like, wow, I don't play video games with the sound on. I actually don't really even play video games. The only video games I actually play, the only one you can really call video game that I actually play, like competitive kind of, is Super Smash Bros. Yeah, woo, but that's about it. And I'm not even going to mention the details there because I don't want this to be a video game kind of podcast. But I just let you know. The characters I like to play are Wii Fit Trainer, Wario, and Pac-Man. I think I haven't actually played the video game in it's been 2 months. But anyway, since I moved to college, I didn't bring the Wii U, so I've just been. I tried Super Smash Flash 2. I tried the sequel because I liked the first one, but I'm offline and don't really play that often. The other video games I play are Tetris. I found this handheld Tetris game in a free pile, and it was broken, but I actually got it working, so I was really proud of that. And now I keep it in the back of my car. So if I have 2 friends or something, one has to sit in the back all awkwardly. At least I have Tetris back there, so they can kind of play around on Tetris a bit. Stack those blocks, break them down. God, I'm so cool. And also Solitaire. I've been playing a lot of Solitaire. Like this Microsoft version of Solitaire. I play the Draw 3. It's more of a challenge that way. Oh God. And what else can you listen to podcasts? Like driving. But I can be kind of scared of driving. I'm gonna start screaming like this! Okay, but I'm probably not gonna do that often. I might put my cop sound effects over in the background or something sometimes, just to mess with my driving viewers. I actually also haven't driven in 2 months. I hope it's not one of those things you can just forget, I'm gonna get in the car and then just crash into some kid on a bike or something. Fortunately, I've never actually been in a car crash. Well, a time like this, I was backing up and this person rear-ended her in a parking lot. It wasn't bad, and the person was oh no, I'm not gonna have problems, but they pretty much actually scraped our car up. And I've actually been in any other problem. I almost got in some car crashes with my brother's friend's mom. Yeah, it was back in the period of time where I didn't really have friends, so I just kind of tagged along with my younger brother and his friend. They were driving back from this water park thing. I was in the car with them, and God, it's terrifying to drive with her. I mean, I've got stories about her, but like, yeah, she's almost like crashed into a pole, and like, just like has to correct herself, but like, she does like text and stuff, and I'm just kind of go, like, honestly, I'm probably the last type of person like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's kind of awkward to actually be telling someone to do that. You know, I always feel like on those questions, you felt like 70% of teens feel like they would not be comfortable driving with a person who's texting, and or you know, that I phrase that pretty poorly. Like, this percentage of people would tell the driver to stop texting, but it's kind of awkward. But you know, it is your life in your hands, and I don't text and drive. But if you need me to tell you that, a person you don't even know, and God, who was recording this in his college sound room after that to kick out like this group of like 5 people. This is a small room too. I mean, I was in here with my friend last time just recording some stuff, and it was kind of crowded just for both of us, but somehow like someone brought in a second chair. I don't know how they even managed that. It must have been actually quite an ordeal to bring it in. I'm rambling again. Had a little funny note, like things I want to talk about in this podcast. That was about it. I would also say you can listen to this podcast while having sex. You know, making sweet love to the sound of my voice, with all my awful speech impediments, like that sound right there. Fun little side note: I actually cannot pronounce the th sounds for like a long time. I don't know how that eventually came to be, but then I kind of solved it myself. That's right. I didn't even know fancy like speech therapist. Yeah, what a waste of money. What a horrible waste of money. I can fix myself, and I don't need a doctor. I don't need a dentist. I can just prescribe myself and remove my own teeth with like a pair of pliers and a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, I'm independent. America, God bless, home of the brave, land of the free. Woo. Wait, is it? And the land of the free, or the land of the brave, and the home of the free, and the land of the free, and the home of the brave, and the land of the brave, and the home of the... Dang. Shoot, what is it? You know what? I'm a patriot, so I don't gotta sing any stupid songs like that. I'm my own man, The government can't tell me what to memorize. Oh, that's all the notes I had, so next actually, most of it's just me going off key. What did I even write down? It was wanted to tell you my name. I'm Leo, and this is it's the Eat the Mint podcast. I might explain that saying later. Actually, it was kind of clever of me how I came up with it, but the first podcast, I want at least some mystery for you to return. You know what? On the 17th special, I'm going to explain what Eat the Mint means, why I chose that name. And hopefully, later on in the podcast, I'll actually have a better camera and microphone, because if I try holding the microphone like this, it really just creates like a lot of... It picks up like every little hand movement on it, and it's awful. So I just have it resting like this. I don't have a good microphone or really a good camera. It's a Nikon D3200, representing, but it can only record 20 minutes of video at a time. I know, it's great for me who bought this camera and then started getting into film, not the other way around. I was kind of into taking pictures and all that kind of stuff, but then eventually started getting into like film and editing and things. And this podcast, but it can only record 20 minutes at a time. I've looked it up, and I'm pretty sure it's because, there's certain taxes that go into video cameras, and video cameras record more than 20 minutes at a time, so Nikon's, saving a few bucks. I don't know how much those taxes are. Maybe it's more than a few bucks. Look, I don't know. I'm not really an expert on that world and everything, but, eventually I might just get some... right now it's just filming the wall. It's actually filming the... Let me try to get to some focus here. It's actually just filming this key I had to get into the sound room. And I actually had to wait an extra 20 minutes because the group before me wouldn't leave. and like the librarian like helper or whatever, he was one of the student helpers. She was like feeling pretty awkward about kicking these people out, and they kept just taking a little bit longer. Although, I wasn't really in a rush to get this thing done, and I have this room for like 2 hours, and so it's not really that big of a deal for me. They were probably actually doing something like for school, and then I'm just being like this. I mean, that was kind of nice, I didn't like bargain, like, I need a room or whatever, but actually the librarian lady fined them too. I feel kind of bad now, because it's just me, and this is not for anything, and this will probably accumulate like 23 views. That's what I'm guessing. I'm going to be guessing get to 23 views in the next year. I just knew I wanted something, to put my channel out there. I wanted to finally start something. Eventually, what I want this podcast to do is, I want to record like random people, like have podcasts like on the streets, kind of, set up a little stand. You could, where anyone can just sit down and have multiple microphones going, and people can just kind of hop in, say the name, kind of discuss some kind of topic or something. I've been enjoying conversation more, although I'm actually kind of a quiet guy, and I don't know exactly how I got roped into this, like actually talking, but I think it was just a realization that it got kind of existential for a while, and so I gotta, so much of this stuff doesn't matter, and I need to, honestly, I could just watch movies all day and I'd be fine and I'd be happy, what, even the point of making yourself happy, and then it just got kind of weird and depressing, and so you know what, I'm gonna make something, but I don't really want to have to recruit a camera crew or something, and so you know what, podcast, it's good. That was a clap. It felt kind of clammy, what does that sound? Okay, it's like imagining you're taking a bucket of clams, you're reaching down in this cold bucket of, okay, shelled clams, so it's just clams without their shells, and it's cold, when you're trying to boil them. Cold, wet, salty clams. And then you're throwing them against, what is this sound? You're throwing against a glass bowl or something. You're taking all the clams, you're going no, that wasn't it. That was clams against wood. Yeah, imagine you're throwing clams against a bowl. That was a clap. Ha, you thought I was done talking. I wasn't. I was just thinking, and then I had nothing to do, and I decided I had to cut it out. Oh yeah, I was supposed to actually go over what else I was going to talk about. Yeah, okay, so my name, Leo, CW Podcast. I'm a college student. I just told you the plans for the podcast. Not the clams, but, actually recording people in public, getting some fun on there, want to see if this can grow. I doubt it will, and I don't know if I'll actually end up doing this, but I'm going to try making, I think every weekend I'm going to try making a podcast. I'm going to kind of sit down and do it. I don't think many people will actually listen to it, because I wouldn't listen to this, but I got to get myself out there, have a little not even a visual, it's like an auditory diary of me, pretty much, although I'm not going to actually go into that, because no one wants to hear that, and I don't even want to hear that, about all the stuff happening in my life, although I probably will talk about, this is pretty much like a diary, like my little journal, my little dream journal, but I was going to write a book. I might eventually still do that. I want to make it long, but I also don't have a super high attention span for actually creating things, and so the book is just going to be a collection of a really small, 2 or 3 page long works. Some are not even going to be that long. I mean, some of them are probably just going to be a page with a stupid joke I thought of and then didn't bother adding anything else to the page. But I do some drawings and stuff too. You can see in the little channel logo, I drew that last night. So you can appreciate that. If anyone wants to hire me, please, I don't have a job. There's college, but I don't have a job, and I'm not making money. So, hey, if you want me to join any company... Okay, this is what kind of made me mad. So, I send like whenever it's my birthday, I send like thank you cards and stuff to all my relatives who got me things, and I make them. I draw little cards, and I draw them myself, and usually like half a page, and I fold it over, and so then I draw stuff on the outside, and then have some little like thank you message on something on the inside, and I spent time on them. I make them look good and pretty because I like drawing, and I've never. More about the drawing in later stories, but it's just me pretty much, and I've never taken an art class, and so just little doodles, some stuff kind of. It's different than lots of other styles, and so then apparently my uncle actually knew this guy. My uncle knows a lot of guys, but he knew this guy who actually worked for like a company, a beer brewing company, and apparently the guy was actually interested in like having me draw a label or something, and so my uncle told that to my dad. My dad never told that to me, and so like I missed my opportunity, and that actually really annoyed me because like I could actually been out there and had something published, and so that just like, are you serious? My dad's a great guy, okay? I'm not gonna badmouth him or anything, but it is annoying when someone like forgets to tell you something. And there was a lot of stuff going on that day, and I kind of blame him, but it's like, I'm not going to hold a grudge or anything. It's just, what could have been. Anyway, I'd probably still be in the same exact position, because whenever life hands me opportunity, I say, oh, that's nice, and then I don't really do anything with it. Okay, and I'm pretty sure this guy, like, in this recording room next to me is like singing the same notes, the same kind of little part of a song over and over again. Like, all I wanted in the day. I think it says, I don't want to wait, I don't want to. I don't know what he's saying, it's kind of muffled. Shout out to this guy, he has quite a voice. I can tell through the muffled stuff. If this muffled kind of padding thing, I don't like touching it. It feels weird. It's weird how like certain things you just don't like touching. They won't hurt you or anything, but for me that's like chalk. I really don't like touching chalk or what I really don't like is a charcoal on paper. God, it's when I'm like writhing my hand. Right. Okay, it's like I'm trying to like dry my hands, but there's actually not a towel in between them. My hands are just like, ugh. I really hate that feeling of like charcoal on paper. Makes me want to bite off the tip of my tongue. It's just, I don't know, but like just. So yeah, I don't like touching the wall. There are some walls I do like touching, gotta say. But like sometimes sometimes like walls, certain types of paint on them I just can't stand touching. And then others, they feel good to touch, and I kind of got a little padding on there. So kind of like in elementary schools or something. I don't know if this is just me noticing stuff, but like my elementary school had like kind of soft walls, so it's easier to like staple things into them and not like leave a mark or anything. But yeah, woo, fun podcast, am I right, guys? I'm talking about feeling walls. What else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, how I need a better microphone and camera for that matter. Already covered that. Look at me making good progress here in the world, making mama proud, and when to listen to podcasts. Homework, video games, solitaire, and when you're making sweet, passionate love. The sound of my voice. If anyone actually does that, please let me in on it. No. Also, I'm pretty sure like there's this guy who, I don't know what he's doing on his computer right now. He's looking at a YouTube video of I want to say it's like a little. He keeps like hopping around in it, but I think it's about like an no, it's hard to tell from here, but I think it might be like about African community, like showing a bunch of markets and stuff. And I'm pretty sure he was like here last time, like last week. And I was recording something with my friend. Let me check it. Oh shoot, it has a title screen. I can't see it. Oh, okay, Madagascar Life. He just clicked on a new video. It's called Madagascar Life. I think he might be doing a project on Madagascar. But he was here the last time, like the same chair. Pretty sure it was a guy. Right now it's just like a slideshow of like people from Madagascar and like little scenes. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing, but you know, he's doing it on I mean, a lot of the certain things you could look up on computers and libraries, I mean, that's like far from the worst. I always tell my friends, like, if they ever want to look something weird up, like a friend tells them, like, hey, look, blue waffle, Google blue waffle or something dumb like that. I just like, oh yeah, just do it on a school computer. Like, if you have a fear of doing if you're doing a school computer, it's probably something you shouldn't look up. I don't know, I always think it'd be funny if, like, I get a bunch of people, if you like look at really strange content or something, like some weird Sonic fan fiction, like a school computer, someone comes by like, what are you doing? You're like, huh? This is a computer, right? And I'm like, just looking something up. I don't know what this guy is doing. Looking back at it, and I was like, I honestly did not know much about Madagascar. I mean, I knew a little bit about like the community and stuff. Like, I could learn a lot about Madagascar here. Okay, right now it's showing a little child wearing, he's wearing a traditional, like, hey man, he's kind of skipping around the video a lot. I wonder what kind of song is playing in there. Like, I really don't know much about Madagascar. I know they have lemurs, and it's an island, and it's like Madagascar. Remember that? There's this weird kid from my middle school who did a report on Madagascar. And also these cool, like, eroded rocks from the rain or something. A bunch of lemurs, like, it's pretty much dead in there except for like these thorns. And that lemurs like jump all about. And like, if people try that, they're like getting their hands cut and like getting impaled on rocks and stuff. But I mean, aside from that, I really don't know much about Madagascar. And right now I'm learning I think they have like a rail system there or something. I thought a guy was walking some train tracks. I don't know that about Madagascar. Oh, now he's clicking an actual like video. Looks like a vlog or something. Oh. Just a bunch of like happy Madagascarian people. Madagascarian? Oh my god. It's like North Korean, South Korean, and Madagascarian. What are people from Madagascar called? Madagascarians? Madagascarites? Do I sound like a racist saying this? Probably not. Or maybe I do, I don't know. It could be offensive. Shoot. First podcast, I'm already like questioning myself if I'm a racist or not for saying Madagascarites. I don't know. I also don't know if like all this is just from Madagascar. If he's looking at like pictures of just like African communities or something. It's weird they're all like slideshows and stuff too. I mean, he's clicked on several videos. I don't know what he's trying to do. If he's like trying to find a specific one, or if like he's listening to like the same channel or something, or like it's weird. I was like flipping through them too. I think he's trying to look for a video that he can't find. He can't see me. Well, actually, if he turns around, he'll see me. But I'm kind of the expert of watching people. That wasn't phrased very well. I'm not an expert at watching people, and that's like really creepy. And either if you're an expert at watching people, you're like a stalker or a private eye. I'm neither of those, thankfully. But I guess in this, I'm more of like a, I'd say more of a private eye here than a stalker. Because I'm trying to make assumptions like what he's doing. Or is that kind of like stalkery? It's like kind of, I'm not being hired either, so it could just be like, shoot, I'm like watching someone for my own pleasure, but it's not like that kind of pleasure, it's just trying to find out what he's doing. Oh god, I'm in a little situation, I'm going to stop looking now. But okay, hey, when I was in journalism, my junior year, so pretty much like everyone in that class was a slacker. Like, they all procrastinated, they waited to the last second to actually, like, write anything. But I got my stuff done, like, early, and everything, but I didn't like have anything else to do. I edited my own paper, and like hardly anyone there was actually a good editor. They had to do peer editing, and they had no idea what was going on. And English is one of my good subjects. It's like one of the things I pride myself on being good at. I'm not a super great writer, but like, I mean, I know good grammar, and I got like mediocre content. I pretty much just interviewed my friends, like the same like 3 friends like the whole year, and the teacher didn't really notice. That was nice. But anyway, so when I got done with all that stuff, I had like really nothing to do and didn't like go on my phone because I figured the teacher would be like, hey, I got on my phone, like, stop, you're slacking off. But so I just kind of started something. I just started like Googling things, but I didn't play games in there either. I would just pretend like, it's for my article or something, and I always had like the Word document up with all the writing, or sometimes I had like the last paragraph to go, so like, I know I should be getting back to work, I'm almost done though. Anyway, no one actually ever questioned me on this, but I had where I was sitting kind of in the back of the room, but then the teacher would, like, where our backs were to each other, and there was like the 3 editors in the one front of the room. I'll like put a little picture up on the screen here so you can kind of see what it's all about. But our teacher, we're kind of across like a little away from each other, the rest of the room. His back was towards me, and we're facing opposite ways. But like sometimes he would like turn around and look around the room to make sure everyone was still on task, or like, I don't know why, they just got up sometimes and looked around and they sat back down. It's like, man, they kept doing this. I couldn't like be on. Well, I was also one time I just found myself looking up like really stupid conspiracy theories, like proof that Hitler is a genetically modified dolphin, and like the moon is a hologram. That's what I did in that class. Real journalism stuff. But we were using these Mac computers, like they kind of with like a really reflective screen, pretty much. And so I was working on one, but the other one like wasn't plugged in or anything, like right next to me. So like, it's just an extra monitor. But I got really smart, and I used it as like a mirror, so I could actually see my teacher at all times. And he didn't suspect anything. He was like, it's just an empty monitor that could just happen to be facing the direction I am. So whenever I saw movement there, I was like, I switched to my Word page, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, and looked like I was actually doing work. And then sometimes I would actually even just go tippity tap at the top to make, and then like flip through some notes and like and like backspace and stuff. But it was, one of my other talents, I'm really good at making it look like I'm doing work. And it seems easier and stuff, but I don't know. Lots of times people just like slack off, and I'm like, wow, you're doing a good job, and then they never realize that I am not doing a good job. But I've like last year when I was in yearbook, I was pretty good at that too. I mean, these kind of things where you get creativity. I got my work done quickly and everything. So I really didn't like to go out and like actually get pictures, pull people out of class and get pictures of them. So I was working on my page. I had like nothing to do. I mean, I had good pictures, and I gotta say, I think I had like the best pages in the yearbook. But I had like really little to do in that class for a long time. And this time, my desk was even closer to being of the teachers. Like he was like pretty much like, it was one of the closest desks to like where the teacher was sitting, and he like facing my screen, so I really couldn't like goof off much there. So what did I even do? Like, I mean, I just edited little things, and like sometimes when I was bored, I'd just like write huge like, I would just pretty much write like complaints and stuff I had, and like what was happening in my life and everything, like where I was supposed to be writing about like homecoming or something. And luckily, none of that got left in before I actually finished up the yearbook, because that would have been really embarrassing. Talking about like, oh god, I've got to pretend I'm actually writing something when I have no idea what to do because everyone else is just slacking off, and that would have been awkward. Although in the yearbook, I did hide a lot of things. I think I'm probably going to talk about it later, but I mean, like with a friend of mine who actually went to the high school, so we could like mention him, can like flip through the yearbook and stuff sometime. That'd be a nice little video. But it did hide a middle finger in there, I think. Oh, I hid the word hentai in there. I'm actually kind of surprised I got away with that one. It was like a kid who was I'm not going to actually say his real name. I don't know what he's doing, but honestly, this story can probably only help his reputation. But he was right. So, you know, a Filthy Frank kind of made like those shirts that said like hentai and then like in Japanese underneath it or something. But this kid like wore the shirt that said hentai just to school, and he got sent to like this detention area. And like when I was walking to one of my classes, I had my camera with me because I needed to get like some candid shots, and so I saw him out there. I mean, we didn't really know each other and stuff, but like, if someone's being funny like that, I mean, I like totally respect them. It's like, I would never do that, but you know what? That's like, you've got guts for doing that. So I took a picture of him. Like, I was like, hey, you want to be in the yearbook? And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. I mean, like, I don't have to. Like, what did I say? So like, yeah, I can include your name and stuff, and I mean, like, if you want this in your yearbook, I can probably sneak it in. I mean, I wasn't like a bad guy or anything, but I just kind of like gave up. Really, I wasn't a goody two shoes or anything. I was like, whatever, man. It's like, this is you, and this is. I hope people remember this. Yeah, and I actually got that in there, kind of resized a little bit. So, but you can really tell it says hentai. Like if you're kind of looking through, like, what does kid's shirt say? I mean, wait, whoa, gee, that shirt says hentai. But he had like this great smile on his face too. He was like, man, I'm gonna go away with this. But teachers didn't really like that kid that much. But God, I hated that in there. What else did I hide? I don't know, but quite a few things. And there's like this one quote from my buddy, and I think it was like, what was he doing? I think he was wearing a unicorn like onesie in this. He was a weird guy. But I think his quote was like, oh, whoa, like, oh, notices, I think it was like, his quote was, notices bulge, oh, whoa, what's this, daddy. I think that was his quote, and when I was interviewing him, I was like, we didn't get senior quotes this year, which really sucked, because, like, people last year kind of abused it, and so, like, man, this really blows, and so I was like, hey, you know what, I told my friends, like, interviewing them, it's like, you don't get senior quotes this year, but I'm going to let you say anything you want in this, and as long as it doesn't, like, involve swearing, but I could probably keep it in. And actually, somehow, the quote, like, notices bulge, oh, what's this, daddy, got in the yearbook, so, oh, God, that's in there. I had some fun in yearbook. I like kind of creating things that are going to last forever, because... Man, and then people looking through that, like, wow, they could obviously tell my pages were better than anyone else's. But, I'm going to stop patting myself on the back there. Where's I even going with this? I don't know. I don't even know where this came from. It's just me talking, like, just staring at a bunch of, like, these cables on the floor, which may or may not be a fire hazard. I don't think so. I don't even know where these cables are plugged into. I think most of them are just, like, laying here on the floor. God, they got, I could just take all of them if I want, but it's like a bunch of, it's like auxiliary cables and like, I don't recognize this kind of mouse. It's just a fancy, like, extra long Dell mouse. Funny, but I don't think, I'm not going to take any of this stuff. Although I could, but I'm not going to steal or anything, because that's morally wrong, and I want Jesus to love me. I even got like a little sound mixing board here. Maybe I should have tried this. Before this, I tried setting up 2 microphones, and that did not really go well, because for some reason... I actually got to see if, like... I got to see if this microphone's actually working. Test that later and stuff. If I actually want to have a second person on the podcast. Because I do have, like, this kind of... headphone jack splitter thing. I wonder if I don't know if it even works for, like, audio in. I know it works for audio out, but I don't know if it works for audio in. That's what annoys me. They should make them really go both way. Like, okay, I'm going to originally record this on my Microsoft, like, Surface Pro 4, whatever. It has some kind of dopey, fancy sounding name. I just contradicted myself. Dopey, fancy sounding name. But, okay, I don't even know if to call that, like, a PC or a tablet or something. I don't know. And I'm not going to call it my Surface or anything, because that's just dumb. I don't know what I'm going to call this. I just call it, like, my tablet, or sometimes just in my computer. I'd say that. I'm just going to call it my computer. But anyway, you can't actually attach a microphone to that, and that really sucks. You can't even attach it, like, via USB. And so the microphone in there isn't, like, awful, but it's not good. it like kind of gets the job done for what you'd expect on this kind of thing. You know, 'cause I would love to actually attach a better microphone to it, but it doesn't actually work. And so I got that working against me. And so I just got my camera that can only record 20 minutes at a time. My iPod, oh boy, I don't know why, but it keeps saying it's full up on storage, and I can't even like record video anymore on it. The iPod I really only use for like music, and it's like a few select apps. It's like when I watch YouTube on my actual phone. My God, it is just so garbage. It can't text anymore. I don't know why. It's like an Android Citrine, one of those stupid like track phones, and I really hate it. But I just got it because like my dad was like, "Hey, we're finally gonna be getting phones." And I originally had like this awful like kind of clamshell looking thing that couldn't do anything, and I like just powered it off entirely, and so it never lost battery, never got called, and I never called anyone on it. It was just stupid. But I got this Android one, like, hey, I can actually text and call, but for some reason I can't text anymore, and like the SIM card keeps saying like it's not in there, so I have to take it out, like restart the whole phone and everything. So that's really annoying. I think my dad's actually finally upgrading the phone. His phone, mine is just, it's sucky self, and I have to like call my friends now and say like, hey, go to dinner, and they say, yeah, okay, see you there. I mean, sure, that's good for calling us, nice, it's more personal, everything, but I honestly don't want to go through all that. It's easier just to text back and forth. But I can't figure out why I can't, because another reason why I don't like this is because it's not like a known brand or anything, so I can't like help. I can't just type in like, why isn't my iPhone texting or anything? Just like, what's the problem with my track phone Android Citrine? Like, why can't I text? And then you got all this like, hey, there's a texting plan. And it's like, no, stop. That's not my problem. I actually can't text. I can call, but I can't text. And God. My dad sent me a fire emoji last time. God. It's always weird when your parents send emojis or try to, do young things. Proud fact of me that I'm gonna put on my resume, I've never used an emoji before. I know, cue the clapping, cue the audience clapping, live audience. Woo, yeah, oh guys, thank you so much, man. You shouldn't. And yeah, but proud fact, never used an emoji, not even ironically. That was, I don't know how I got so far in life that using it. Just kind of didn't really get behind the whole emoji train when they first started getting out. Like, okay, great, whatever, man. Like, I didn't really want to use these. I didn't really have a reason to. And people started using them more and more often. I was like, okay, I mean, I'm still not going to be that kind of guy, whatever, woo. And then eventually when emojis just became, like, just awful. I mean, they've always been kind of, no, I don't know. They haven't always been, like, entirely awful when they first got introduced. It's like kind of the proto-emoji, It's kind of like, start with like little emoticons. I've like used those before. Like my favorite one was like a parentheses, V, like open parenthesis, V, close parenthesis, space, open parenthesis, semicolon. I think like, no, wait, it was like, yeah, I think like semicolon, or no, like semicolon, comma, semicolon, close parentheses, space, open parenthesis, V, close parenthesis. That was how I made the Zoidberg one, the little, it was pretty cool, people do like, hey, 8 equals D. I've used that kind of stuff before, but actually, I don't think I've actually used this stupid like penis one. But I do use Zoidberg, and I don't even think I've made like little smiley faces or something. Just Zoidberg, I think the only one I've actually made. But I think, as a kid, I tried like, oh, here's how you make an owl. Like, oh man, that's cool, man. That's just really cool. I can make an owl on Microsoft Word, what? But I've never used emojis. Yeah, that's impressive in this day and age. My dad has used an emoji. He's used a few, I think. But sent me the fire emoji of all. It was like, this is a typo in the papers, so sent me a text. It was before my phone could actually stop. It was before my phone stopped working, but I actually was able to get text at one point. But yeah, it was like a typo. It said it's supposed to be like 675 degrees or something that day. And so then he sent me like a fire emoji with that. Like, great, Dad. I also don't have, What I really hate is people like work at, what is this guy doing? There's like, I don't know, it just sounded like he turned on like some kind of like vibrating thing. Oh. Yeah, he's going with a beat now. There's like a beat going on with this guy next to her. And he's going like, all I really want is you. I think. Okay, I'm gonna bump the beat here. I'm gonna go as quiet as I can. Okay, I don't really know what this guy looks like or anything. I don't know like how much of his sound is muted and stuff, but right now, gotta admit, guy, it's better hope you got auto-tune. That's kind of mean. I don't know. Maybe it just sounds better without like this muffled and stuff. But like, hey, he's like, he's trying and stuff. He's like getting himself out there, like me in the stupid podcast. I mean, there's a lot of things you can say about this. Also, oh yeah, I was gonna say, hey, people who use like hashtag. Okay, I was watching The Flash today. Gotta say, with that Flash, I like the show, but God, it can really get on my nerves, and there's a lot of plot holes and stuff, and like it doesn't have the best CGI. I don't know. I just like the show. It's like kind of lighthearted and stuff. It's just something I kind of like watching, and my brother likes watching, and we kind of talk to each other about that. But okay, today they did like. There's a lot of problems I have, especially when they try to promote like. God, when like CW tries to do a whole bunch of feminist kind of things. Like in the last episode I watched, like 3 people say like hashtag feminism. Like, oh my God, it's like adding hashtag before anything really like degrades it like 5 points. I don't know what points are equal to, but it's a lot. 5 points is a lot. You got to like hashtag female empowerment like in everyday conversation. That's not good. Like, okay. That show Supergirl. I mean, great, female empowerment, could have a good, strong female character, role model, whatever. And, shows and movies do that. They have like a strong female protagonist, and, people can admire them. They're fans, like you have fans from all over the place. You're like, wow, like I wish I could be like her. But Supergirl, they're trying too hard. For me, it's not working. I haven't watched a lot, but I've seen enough. Maybe it's changed now, but I watched like the first few episodes, and like I watched some more here and there, like when they had a crossover with like the Flash, or like I think they've only had crossovers with the Flash. Okay. But anyway, so the first episode, Kara, that's her name, right? I also hate the name Kara, but she like has powers, but she doesn't use them and all that stuff. Like, oh, whoop-de-doo. Like, oh, you saved a plane. Like, oh, no, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Then I don't know exactly what happens. It's been a while since I watched it, but then eventually she tries fighting. Okay, she's finally starting to use her powers, And then she fights like this one person who like totally like whoops her in the fight, and the guy didn't even have like a scratch. It's like, I could kill you, and then somehow she gets out of there alive. And then she wants to fight the guy like the next day, and it's this one evil white man, the M-word man. He's like, oh, like you can't find him again. And then she was like, why? Is it because I'm a woman? And that's, or he's like, why? Is it because I'm a girl or something like that? God, that really just made me writhe in like cringe. God, it was so no. Okay, listen. Maybe you've actually trained more. Maybe you've actually like prepared, or like at least talked about like a strategy or something. But you really just started using your powers, from the first time in your life, really actually trying to like fight people and do crazy things with your powers and not try to hide them all the time. You're finally starting to come out of your shell there, and then you're just like, okay, so maybe I got whooped the first time, but I can go back a second time and I can beat him for sure. You didn't train at all. This guy's obviously more skilled than you, and he knows how to use his powers. And they're just like, why? Is it because I'm a girl? Like, no. If you actually, okay, I wouldn't have a problem with this so much if she actually did training, if she actually like, let's find this guy's weaknesses. Like, oh, hey, like if he was weak, like, oh, we can like lead him over here into this trap. She pushes again, and it annoys me that like she beat him. It's just, but saying no, it's like, wait, is it because I'm a girl? That right there is just like just awful. And they like, that movie they put too much emphasis on saying like God's a female and stuff. God's a girl. God, okay, this is not a good subject, especially my first podcast. I'm not a bad guy. I just wish it won't be so cringy, if that's what happens in the universe, sure. Like, if that's what you believe, sure. But I mean, they make a big deal about it when they like emphasize it. It's annoying. It takes away from the plot when they try to put this kind of like, when like shows get political too much and it takes away from the plot. That's what really makes me lose my interest. But if we can do it in a way that it's like it makes sense and everything. I don't know. Like an example of Steven Universe. I think. I mean, I stopped watching that show. It got like a bit too kind of like preachy and stuff for me. I mean, I really respect what they're doing and stuff, and it's good that cartoons are actually doing that and everything, but they did it, it kind of turned into more of like a little in-your-face kind of thing, more than just like subtly and everything, but, well, it's a cartoon, and it's a good cartoon, a lot of fans, and it's well made, but just, Supergirl didn't really have much for me. Well, I don't know what I was trying to even say. I was talking about The Flash. But anyway, I like The Flash because of its wacky characters. Okay, guys, I'm not gonna get into these kind of political things, but that just annoyed me. And you can have different opinions, and I really respect different opinions. I like hearing them and everything. I don't want to get into arguments, but I like people say like we're gonna start a conversation. Sure. You do that. That kind of stuff kind of annoys me. It's like conversations like that, and you see like these people like, hey, like there's people like handing out flyers and stuff like starts a conversation. It's kind of hard to start a conversation with that, and I don't know how much of those actually get off the ground. But I like hearing different political opinions, and like if you're respectful of other people's opinions and things, and if you're willing to see both sides, I'm totally fine with hearing yours, and I'm fine with you making things and propaganda for it. Whatever, man, you do you. And same thing, if you disagree with stuff in my podcast, please actually do disagree, and as long as you're not saying that I'm like a total idiot or whatever, which I kind of am stupid, but as long as you don't like just completely insult me, I'm like totally fine with it, and not just like going down and just calling me names and everything. But yeah, I'm not going to be talking much about politics on this podcast, because that's a real way to divide people. I'm going to instead talk about how it annoys me that this chair doesn't actually, sometimes when you sit in like, excuse me, I sit in like certain types of like rolling chairs, how you can like lean back and the chair kind of leans with you a bit. This it doesn't. It's like it's a stiff back, and it's annoying because it looks like the chair should be able to. It's got like the kind of looks like the kind of base they use. I mean, they probably couldn't have been able to make it, but they're too cheap. Oh god, the other chair in here. I'm testing this right now. Hey, can do that. This one is. I just kind of lean back, time to take a load off and stiff. I guess for like this first podcast, I'm gonna keep it kind of short because I don't want to have to waste a lot of your time, and if you like us, hey, I'm glad. If you don't, man, you can. I guess the podcasts. I really only listen to 2 podcasts, but I would recommend both of them: the Super Mega Podcast and Sofa King. It's just the Sofa King. They talk about like paranormal stuff and like famous people, and they're not like these kooks or anything. They like do research, and they can be like skeptics and stuff. They have good content. Both the channels. So if you like podcasts, you can check those out. If you're coming, just look for a podcast and you don't like this one, I would check those 2 out. Because hey, you know what? They're not competition right now. My competition is like this guy singing right next door. I mean, people are probably gonna check out his stuff more than this, but I don't know how long I've been recording, because it's hard. I've gone through a few, 20-minute sessions on this camera. But it might be, it might be a good time just to call it off. I just want to say, thank you to my sponsors. This guy next door, he's a good trooper and everything, Good luck, SoundCloud. Hope that works out for you. And the people who came in before me, all 6 of them, I don't know how they fit into this room, because this is a small. Okay, I'm gonna kind of roughly estimate this. I can touch both walls. Oh God, I don't like touching these walls. I forgot. But I can touch both walls. So I'd say it's maybe I'd say it's 5.5 feet wide, and it's 8 feet long, and also about maybe 8 feet high. I'd say it's a small room. I don't know how they did that. Oh God, what is this? Oh, what the hell is? Oh, I'll take a picture of this so you can see. Another thing I can think of how this stuff is on my graph. Oh, whoa, that gives you a weird 3D kind of effect if you don't focus on it. Oh, that's weird. But anyway, it's I don't know, it's kind of waterproof, to help protect cables or something. Take a little picture of that. Thanks for tuning in to my podcast. I hope you enjoy, and if you don't like this one, I bet the next one will be better. I'll probably actually write down better things to talk about. It was just me rambling, then it got political, and I don't want to do that again. I will ramble a lot on this. I'm already rambling now. I should really just end this. Thanks once again. It's ETM Podcasts, and I hope this is something you will be interested in. And now to sing you off, here is me trying to copy this guy, but I don't want to actually use words, so I'll just go ba 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 ba. I'll probably just do something like that for an outro. Well, I'll show you a picture of what I just found on the ground. Okay, thank you. Ba 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 ba.